My name is Tony Caldarella, and I did my policy analysis paper on the Animal Drug User Fee Act, also known as ADUFA, and was reauthorized on June 13th, 2013. Before ADUFA was put into law, America was struggling with animal drugs that were causing deaths of many people because the drugs and antibiotics that were given to animals for human consumption were not regulated very well and were not very safe and effective. There also was an issue with new animal drug applications taking many months, if not years, to be approved, which costed drug companies millions of dollars. There are four main goals of ADUFA. These goals are to decrease the time of review process, increase communication, increase technology, and increase financial stability. To decrease the time of the review process, the FDA collects fees from the drug sponsors, which are used to hire more staff and allow for more money to be spent on research. To increase communication, the drug sponsor must send scientific information about the new drug sooner in the development process to come to an agreement on the next steps of drug development earlier. To increase technology, the FDA is implementing a tool that allows for electronic submission of applications, and this will help with the speed of the approval process and also help with user ease. The last goal would be to increase financial stability through a new statutory inflation adjuster, which would account for the constant cost changes of the FDA. The structure of ADUFA is pretty simple when broken down. It begins with a new drug that a sponsor does their own personal tests and studies on to make sure that that new drug is safe and effective. After collecting all of the information from their studies on the new drug, the sponsor sends in a new animal drug application, which includes all the scientific information received from the studies and also includes the fees that are charged by the FDA. Next, the FDA checks the drug to make sure that it is safe and effective, and if the FDA believes it is, then that new drug is approved by the FDA and then becomes legal for the sponsor to sell. ADUFA has had many positive impacts on America. The two main impacts would be the decrease of the new drug review process, which in turn has saved drug companies millions of dollars and has also approved a lot of animal drugs and antibiotics that have helped millions of veterinarians, farmers, and family pet owners by giving their animal the best medication for its needs to become as healthy as possible. With anything that is already good and successful, there are always things that can be changed and made better. One of those things is to increase the information received by the drug sponsors and information that is sent out by the FDA. A big complaint is that the drug sponsors are not disclosing information about the quantity of antibiotics that are sold, which doesn't let the FDA be able to regulate the drug as well as they could if they had that information. With supplying more information about the drugs to the people that are administering them, this would allow people to become educated on specific amounts and how frequently these drugs can be given at a healthy level so the FDA can cut down on the main issue, which is the fact that the overuse of antibiotics is something that is happening in America. Another thing to change would be to increase user fees so the FDA can hire more staff, which would potentially not only speed up the approval process, but also increase the standards of the FDA by having more qualified people to take a last look at the new drug before it is approved. Thank you for listening.